One of the things I love is listening to the stories that my girls make up. Happens all the time, especially like when they're playing, whether it's inside, outside with their toys. I love listening to their imagination soar and what they come up with. Sometimes I'm just shaking my head at the stories that they come up with. Well, this is something that I believe that we need to foster and encourage in our children, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, imagination and storytelling. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your support and your likes, your comments, your sharing, your subscribing. Well, today I want to talk about imagination and storytelling. To me, there is something so beautiful and rich, like in just the culture of storytelling, of being able to take an idea and just make it go somewhere. Don't you just love it when children can just sit there and make up these stories? To me, it is really that says something beautiful and just so precious. I know that with my girls. I listen to them playing with their toys or they're outside, and all of a sudden these crazy ideas are going on, and listening to the joy and the laughter as they come up with these stories, as they are really just sharing what it is that's on their hearts and on their minds. And it's something that we need to encourage, I feel, because I think sometimes as we get older, we just lose it. And that is sad. And I don't want to see that, not for my children, not for any children. I love it when our imagination can soar and we can come out with these stories. I want to share with you today some ideas of how we can keep that going, of how we can really foster imagination and storytelling. Creative writing was one of my favorite subjects to teach while in the classroom. And I loved just watching children being able to get a hold of it, just with some prompts, some ideas, and learning to have that freedom to run with it. And really what we need to do is lose our inhibitions and just let ideas take us somewhere. And we can do that at home in so many fun and easy ways that we can incorporate it into our families, into our day-to-day, so that our children are really growing and developing their storytelling. Now, a great way to warm up or really to get into it is MadLibs. I'm sure that you have seen these before, the stories that have the spot that you have to fill in, that create something unique and different. You know what? There are so many books out there of MadLibs. There are printables that you can find online. And this is fun to do as a family. Do it around the dinner table. I've used these in the classroom a lot, and it's been great as I've watched the children sort of really get into it and then really try to come up with some brilliant words to make these stories even better. So these are things that you can easily do around the table or just at home, just sitting there, having fun with some MadLibs. It's a great warm-up, but a great way to really get our brain thinking, and you can do it with any age. Another thing that I love is a mystery box. This is where you just fill in some things and you use those as a prompt, as an idea for a story. Here is a mystery box with some random things inside. So they just look around and, they pull out something. Can they come up with a story about a plate? Maybe it's a magical plate. Maybe every food that you put on this plate gets multiplied by 10 or becomes huge and even more delicious. I don't know, where do you want this story to go? Maybe they reach in and pull out a lime. Can they tell you a story about a lime? One of the things that you want to do is just let them be fun and let them be silly with it, okay? Just where can we go with a story about a lime? What are we going to do with this lime? Where is it going to go? That's the great thing about a mystery box. You can keep putting things in, taking things out, and you want to have some fun with your kids, just go, hey, let's grab the mystery box. Let's make up some stories. Using pictures as a prompt. Now, I used this a lot when I was teaching. Creative writing was one of my favorite things to teach in the classroom, and I loved watching children just really get a hold of it and be like, yeah, I can do this, to allow them to have the freedom to just let their imagination take them somewhere. And we can just pull out some fun, silly pictures, something that you've even drawn, or even famous artworks. That's always great. But here's a fun picture of a mushroom. reading to two little mushrooms? Can your child look at that picture, just observe with their own eyes what's going on and thinking, I can come up with a story about that and tell you the story. Maybe it's the story that the mushroom is reading. Or can you tell the story of The Beautiful Ballerinas by Degas? Are you telling the story of the ballerina master or the one over here at the bar? What are they saying? What are they doing? So many opportunities for stories here. What can you see? Where can we go with that? Or maybe you just want to tell the story of the dogs playing cards. And so, again, so many prompts that we can have from this, and you just take it and you run with it. Let your children run with it. Let their imagination go wild. Play a game like Authors. I actually talk about that in Little Women. It's a fun game. What you do is you take it in turns to tell a story. You're all part of the one story. And so I might start off, once upon a time, there was a man who had one leg, and I tell a little bit of his story, and then I stop at a point, and the next person has to go on. And it just becomes fun as you just let these wacky ideas go. Once upon a time, there was a man with one leg. And where does that go from there? Take turns around the table, say a few sentences, talk for a minute, and then let the story continue. Now, there is also hidden story. I remember doing this at school, and it was so much fun. All you need is paper and a pen. And this is where you take it in turns with someone or a group of people. And so I would write down a sentence, and then I fold over the top so the person can't see. And then I pass it on. And then they write and they fold over. And this continues until the page is filled up. And then you unfold everything and you read the story. Now, the great thing about this is you have no idea what the person before you wrote, and you can end up with some crazy ideas and some crazy stories, and it really is a lot of fun. Toys. Get their toys. I really think that this is one of our easiest ways to build up and foster imagination with our children, just letting them have free play with their toys. We're big on Playmobil in our family, so the girls are forever making up things from Playmobil, and I still laugh at my friend. She's like, you can tell you're dealing with international children when they're talking about, get your passport, we're going on a holiday. But where can this camper van take us? Where does the school bus take us? All these different things. Maybe it's not toys like this. Maybe it is Barbie dolls or Peppa Pigs or whatever toys you have. This is wonderful. Just let them have these moments with play. Don't try to restrict them. We like to do that. I'm like, just get your toys and play. They'll be like, can I watch a show, Mummy? No, why don't you get your toys and play? And 2 hours later, they're still playing. And we try to give them things that will really build into their imagination. So like dolls' houses, like we make our own out of cardboard box. No, I have a video on that. Check that out. And we've seen our doll houses, our castles being everything from bunk beds for bigger dolls to a hospital to a police station. It's not always a house or a castle because they let their imaginations go wild as they play with their toys. So as you can see, storytelling, the best way to get better is to just keep going at it. And that's what's fun. And let your child just sit on your lap and tell their story. Even if it goes for 5-10 minutes and you're like, is this story ever going to end? But it's important to them that they want to tell that story. And it's important that you listen and be a part and engage with that story. I would suggest just do a little bit every day, at the dinner table, have some fun. Hey, tonight we'll do some MadLibs, or why don't we play Authors? Get out some paper and a pen and do a hidden story. Thank you so much for watching today, and I really do hope that maybe you will take time together as a family to just have some fun storytelling moments. It's easy to do, and I bet that you will be laughing. If you like these videos and would like to see more and would maybe like to support us, please join us as a champion through Patreon. And if you come up with some crazy stories, why not share them with me? Because I would love to hear and see what's going on in your creative, imaginative storytelling world. Thank you so much for watching.